just thinking, you're helping me. So if you can benefit from this in any kind of way, feel free to do so.
Thank you. So yeah,
Worst case scenario, it portrays me as being a human being.
yes, and that's exactly what
So,
you are, and it's completely natural
yes.
to feel anxiety. It actually helps us perform
Mm,
to a higher level. And by
mm,
getting the help, so using the hypnotherapy, it's going to allow your subconscious mind to allow you to use that anxiety. So opposed to keep pulling it out and throwing it in the bin in a nervous state. And because if you've got that, that can be used to fuel performance. So using the metaphor, the analogy of fighting, we have anxiety. We don't throw our anxiety away. We use it. We take it to create the adrenaline to perform better. That's the same in your business. When you want that Romanian castle, if that's your dream, that's what you're going to achieve, as long as you can control the emotions that are holding you back. As long as we can get to the cause, the subconscious. I don't know. I don't have your subconscious mind. You don't even need to know consciously what it
mm.
is that has created this feeling that you can't charge ridiculous amounts. But it's been identified that you absolutely can charge much more because what you do provides so much value. And you agree with that, don't you?
Absolutely.
At a logical level. So it's
You
at an
know,
emotional level that something's holding you back.
I have talked to so many people that have told me afterwards that if they had known the value of what I supplied, they would have paid, tenfold.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a hard sell up front because people simply don't know to what extent I reach them.
So you've just identified, you feel like it's a hard sell. So if you feel like that, that is what you're telling yourself
Mm,
continually,
yeah.
subconsciously, consciously. And it doesn't have to be that way. It's not a hard sell. Actually,
Mm,
it's an easy sell because you're solving a problem that a lot of people struggle with and a lot of people will pay a lot of money for. And you have that. I help you overcome whatever sexual problem it might be to whoever it might be. You can change that. So your target market isn't the essential part of this. It's you can change that as and when. And as with everything, it's all trial and error. So if you've identified that the target market at the moment isn't working, that doesn't mean you've failed. That means you've taken a loss and now you can learn from that. And it's in failure that we grow. So you can go, okay, what's the lesson that I've got from that? I'll take that and I'll go on to the next one. And then if
mm.
as long as you do keep putting that work in and you do keep, so you're signed up to the program with Scott, you don't need to work on your hypnosis. You're an excellent hypnotist.
Mm, yeah.
All you need to do is find the right people, and those people exist. Those people exist who will pay you,
Well, absolutely.
as long as that part of you doesn't hold you back, because it is
Mm,
acting as a protective mechanism and it will
yes.
add a positive intention. And that's what we're now going to identify using the hypnosis. And you
Mm.
can be completely free from this. And I'm actually excited for you on your behalf to
That's
watch the
cool.
abundance that you're going to create.
Mm. Yeah. Can I just point out we're talking a Romanian style castle.
Romanian style
I do
castle.
not want to live in Romania.
Oh, I thought you were going to move to Romania.
Oh
So
no, no, no,
where is
no.
this Romanian style castle then?
I'm sorry.
Where in the world is the Romanian style castle?
I don't really know. And I don't even think it's all that important. I feel like, no offense to Romania, but I don't feel like it's the place I want to live in total abundance because I don't think there's all the stuff that I want.
Can
You
you
know,
can you see the castle in your mind?
kind of yes. Kind
And
of yes.
can you identify what it feels like to be in that home? That's the important part. Like, can you imagine yourself being there now and what
I
that,
believe so. I believe so.
before we record, what you were saying about you're happy where you live, but some things aren't quite right. Like, and
Mm,
there are improvements that you want to make. So wherever this castle is, whether it be a castle or not, that feeling that this home will create, that is what you're working towards. Is
mm,
that correct?
mm. Yes.
So before we go into the parts work and the hypnosis, I'd just like to ask you to get your hands and sit them
Yeah.
comfortably. I
Hang
don't.
on. Let me just put record here so I can do a repeat of this also. There we go. All right. Hands.
So if you just sit them comfortably in front of you, and then I'm going to ask
Mm-hmm.
you to look at your hands and start with your right
Mm-hmm.
hand and start identifying. So in that hand is the part that's holding you back. And you can start to notice. So any feeling that you've felt anywhere in your body, any thoughts that you've had go through your mind, allow them all now to go into that hand, because that's where they are. So you've had the ability to throw them away, but allow them to collect up now and just start. So just allowing the conscious mind to drift into the subconscious too, and anything to come up, anything to be placed in that hand, and start to think what it looks like, what it feels like, what it might be saying to you. So what it sounds like, if it has a smell, what it smells like. And this is everything that you don't want to continue carrying with you. This is everything that's been holding you back. And so you can leave that there in your right hand and then look at your left hand. So this is everything that you're working towards. This is the abundance that you desire. This is everything that you are capable of achieving. And notice how this feels in your hand. Notice what it looks like in comparison and what this is saying to you. The music that it creates, the songs, the freedom, and what this smells like. Because this is your future freedom, and what you're working towards. And just take a moment to look at the two together and notice how they react. There is no right or wrong reaction, but just notice that you have both of these in each hand and notice how different they are, and notice how they interact with each other, whether they want to go closer together or further apart, or if you want to throw one of them away entirely. Because you have the ability to take the actions that you need to take. These are just parts of you. And you can allow one of them to hold you back or one of them to motivate you forwards. Neither of them have control of who you are. They're both in your hands now, and you can do whatever you wish to do with them. They're not inside you. They're not you. They're just a part of you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you feel about having them there in your hands now?
Well, it's interesting because the left hand is slightly going up, as you can tell on the camera.
Yeah.
I'm not working on that. The other one's heavy as hell.
So would you, what does that say to you?
Well, it's clear that that one feels much better than the other one.
So what do you want to
Um,
do with, do you want to continue to be weighed down?
no, not at all.
So what do you want to do with that part of you, that in that hand, the
I
heavy?
want to I want to just throw it away. However, my hand is so heavy I can't really move it anywhere. Uh,
Okay.
I feel like I don't feel like it's stuck, but I feel like it's stuck, if that makes sense. And I can tell that I'm getting teary-eyed on it.
Now that does make sense, because
Mm.
we often do feel like we're stuck, but there's something, so it is part of you at the moment, but this is what we're going to do throughout this session. We're going to allow you to become unstuck, completely free from it. So using the other hand, your left hand,
Mm-hmm.
which is raising higher. Is it your left? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How
My
does
left
that make you feel?
makes me feel great because I also feel like it's going towards my heart.
So that's what you're aspiring to achieve. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And you know that you have the capability to get there.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know that you can be completely free from this stuck, this heaviness, this thing that's holding you back by the end of this session. And you're ready to do that.
I'll be honest and say I have a hard time fully seeing that. But
Okay. And what do you think it is that holds you back from seeing that? Not that you need to consciously answer that. We can go into the
no, but
subconscious.
I think I know where, but that's way too long of a story. But I can easily get the emotion of it.
Okay. What emotion would you say it is that is causing the
It's
doubt?
it's a it's a fear of criticism,
A fear of criticism.
of non-acceptance from others.
Okay. So fear of criticism and not acceptance. And that will be deep rooted from somewhere a long time ago, I assume. But what we're going to do is, so if
No,
you want to take,
no, it's actually it's a it's a fairly recent trauma. I'll
okay,
be happy to tell you at some point.
recent trauma. Okay. What we can do is we can go back to that and we can release that then in the hypnosis. So if you want to take a nice deep breath in and then release anything now to return back to a state before we go deeper. So if you start focusing in on your breathing and just allow your hands, so empty anything that you need to now release, and in any position that's comfortable for you to proceed to a deeper level, taking everything that you've identified already and knowing that by the end of this session there will be a resolution and there will be the abundance that you wish to create. You have the capability to do so, and it is only one tiny part of you holding you back from that. And that part has already been identified. And I would like now to speak directly to that part. So, in this state of hypnosis, which you're so good at being in, guided by the sound of my voice, you can allow your conscious mind to drift. You do not need to hear everything I say consciously, and you can pay attention to anything that you feel you would like to, but everything else can wander, knowing that you're safe, supported, comfortable in your home, but also knowing that it's okay to want more. It's okay to want that abundance. And you can create your maximum output from a minimum input once you let go of this part. Yes, that's right. And you can feel it in your chest. You can feel the feelings of what you're working towards and how they provide you with freedom. But you can also feel something weighing you down, something heavy in your heart, in your chest, and you keep trying to throw it away, but it keeps coming back. And it's not going to bother you anymore, because I'd like that part to begin to identify what its positive intention has been for you. Anywhere in your subconscious mind, I do not know, and you do not need to know consciously, but whatever that part's original positive intention, to protect you, like a faithful guard dog who was once a playful puppy, and he's become overprotective now, barking at your loved ones, and we want to find him a happy home. So once that positive intention has been identified, allow a subconscious signal to occur, to communicate. It might be a change of the breath, a nod of the head, A flicker of a finger, perhaps. Yes, that's right. Perfect. You're doing wonderfully. And now take a nice deep breath and know that within your creative mind, there is an infinite possibility, infinite number of choices of things that you can achieve. And you have the power to choose new ways of satisfying that positive intention. So we're not getting rid of anxiety. We're not throwing it in the bin. We're merely finding a new way to move forwards positively towards your abundance, into your future. And whilst that part is working to identify all of these positive future potentials, I'd like you to imagine that the chair that you're sat on has become a time machine. And we're going to go back in time, back through space, as if time does not exist, back to a time where a previous trauma was created. I do not need to know what this is, and you do not need to tell me. You do not need to relive the experience. You're merely going to see what happened to you then. You will feel no pain and you will not re-experience it. It will not re-traumatize you, but it will allow you to take any learnings that you need to bring forward into this present moment, and you will be completely free from it moving forwards. So in a moment, I'm going to click my fingers and you're going to go back to that moment, creating that picture within your mind. You are visual, you can see, you can use your imagination to create whatever you need to create. It doesn't need to be picture perfect, but you will see what you need to see. And when you arrive, there'll be a door for you to walk through when you are ready to enter the scene. Ready, and so now you've traveled back. When you're ready, walk through that door and see what you need to see in this scene that was previously traumatic to you. Notice yourself, notice your surroundings, and notice the feelings that it created for you. You do not need to feel those feelings. You have a memory of them, and that is all they are. They are a memory that no longer need to exist. And I'd like you to go up to that younger version of yourself and tell them anything that they need to know, anything about what you have achieved since that moment in time, anything about your future plans and everything that you wish to achieve, everything that you're capable of achieving. And notice how everything seems to become less significant. It's all a fragment of your imagination. It's all a past memory. And when you have identified everything that you need to learn from this moment in time, moment in your past that no longer exists, allow your head to nod. Take as long as you need. Ready to let it go. Yes, let it go. Feel that weight, and like an anchor, you can cut the rope. Break the chain. Yes, that's right. Wonderful. And now give that younger version of yourself a hug and thank them for everything that they went through. And know that it's never going to bother you again. It's never going to affect you negatively again. You can take all of the positive learnings now and give them a wave goodbye as you move forwards. Go back through that door and know that you are now on a journey into your future, free from the past, free from anything that was holding you back. It's gone now. Yes. Feel that now, that feeling. Feel how much lighter you feel, no longer weighed down by that. It lives in your past. It's at the bottom of the sea. You broke that chain and now you're free. And that part that's going to continue to run a protective mechanism within you, the anxiety, but it's positive intentions to move you forwards, to perform at a higher level, to help you achieve everything that you're working towards, not just to help yourself, but to help everybody else, because you have a wonderful skill and there are so many people that can benefit from what you provide. Allow yourself to look at all of those positive choices that you can take now, and allow that part to identify the one that it feels is best for it at this moment in time, and best for you too, Keld. Best for you as a person, a being, a member of a community, a leader, a teacher, and allow yourself that part to choose the best option for you of the many, and you can always come back and make new choices. But once that choice has been made, allow your head to nod. Yes, that's right. And take a moment now to feel how that feels, knowing that you have chosen to take action upon this choice, and that you are willing to put the work in, because you're no longer fighting against something holding you back. You're no longer weighed down. So the work will be infinitely easier, and it will achieve an infinite number of greater successes for you. And when every other part of you is ready to fully integrate this choice seamlessly, effortlessly into your life, from this moment forwards and into your future, allow your head to nod. Yes, that's right. Wonderful. So every part of you at a molecular, cellular, neurological level is now ready to take you towards your desires. I can see you in your Romanian style castle, and I'm going to come and visit you there. And I do not know what the journey there looks like, and you do not need to know either. But all you need to know is that as long as you're taking one step forward each day, as long as you are working towards that future goal, free from anything holding you back, you can achieve your desires. And I'd like you to imagine now that you're drifting up out of your chair, leaving your body below as you drift higher and higher through the ceiling of the roof of your house, looking down at the street below and the countryside as everything gets smaller and smaller. Everything gets less and less significant as you leave it in the physical world below. And as you're up there high amongst the clouds, up in the universe, connected to every other planet, star, the sun, the moon, wherever you are up above the earth, and you can see down below. You might not even be able to see the earth. It might be so far away, but you know where it is, and you can see an archery target. And in that archery target, I'd like you to place any useless and unnecessary fear or pain or anxiety that may still be remaining, holding you back. Anything that you'd like to get rid of, anything that serves you no purpose. And notice how, as you place them in that bullseye, it starts to glow slightly brighter. And in a moment, I'm going to shoot you through that bullseye, through that target. And you may experience the feelings once more, and then you will never experience them again. I'm going to make the sound whoosh, and it will be in a split second, and then it will be gone forever. So if you're ready, and whoosh, and take a moment now to feel how you feel at any moment in time where you're in ecstasy, where you feel pure pleasure, because you can create that state within you. You're feeling it now, and you can intensify that. And that is something that you deserve to feel, that love, that enjoyment, that abundance, that pleasure. And you have that within you. And you have the ability to be completely free from anything that comes along and tries to hold you back, because you've got rid of everything in this session. And things do come along. Life isn't perfect. There's no purpose in trying to strive towards perfection. And you know that you have the ability to overcome them all. You have the tools, you have the skills, you have a mission, and you have value to provide to people all around the world. They respect you for what you do, and you now respect yourself too. And just before we finish up, I'd like you to imagine that you're on a beach. Again, as with anything in hypnosis, this is your imagination, and it can be anything that you would like it to be. And I'd like you to imagine that each pebble, each grain of sand, each rock surrounding you is the money that you desire in your life. And notice how beautiful the beach is and how much abundance there is. How many grains of sand are there in the world? And why should you not get to enjoy them? Your part of the beach is for you to enjoy. And every other person in the world can enjoy their own beach and their own abundance. And some people like to go on holiday and own their own private beaches. And some people like to go to beaches with many, many people on them and have parties. And everything is okay to the unique individual. And there is enough for all of us to enjoy our lives, enjoy what we are working towards. And whilst you're sitting on your beach, appreciating the abundance that you create for yourself, notice the sea and the waves breaking against the shore. Listen to the sound of the water and smell the salty sea air. And notice the power that the ocean holds within it. How powerful is water? How powerful is one wave? But within that ocean, the world is connected by the power of many, many waves breaking against many, many shores. And we are all one wave amongst the ocean, and we are all connected through that power, united. So that's what I'd like you to focus on now, the fact that you are working as part of an ocean towards your abundance. And just take one final moment to see yourself in your future, having achieved your desires, with whoever you want to be with, wherever you want to be. But most importantly, that feeling of comfort, security, warmth, enjoyment. And take that feeling within you. And if whenever you are struggling, if ever you feel like not completing a task, reflect back to that feeling and know that it will all be worth it. Know that you will no longer struggle working towards your goals. You are no longer being weighed down by anything. You are light and you are free. You are floating towards your future. And I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And on 5, I'll clap my hands and you will awake and you will feel fantastic. So 1, taking a nice deep breath in. 2, noticing all of the changes that have been made and how light you feel now. 3, increasing those feelings of freedom towards your future. 4, preparing to come back to the room. And 5, eyes open, feeling fantastic.
Hello.
Hello. How are you feeling?
Just
Completely
get.
free. And now my friend's going to make a coffee.
Oh, yeah. I was about to yell, intruder.
He was waiting because he knew I was doing a session.
Oh, hello, friend. But no, I feel good. I had some interesting little experiences along the way. I can, first of all, I'm happy to say I'm going towards the point in my abilities that um, I feel like I hear everything you say, but thinking back, there's not a whole lot of details, which I think is great. Um, that's just where I want to be. And oh, you muted your mic. I can't hear you.
I'm not muted now. I was worried that you'd be able to hear the kettle, so I thought I'll mute it
Oh,
while you speak.
oh no, I don't care. It's fine.
Okay.
Um, because there's so many little natural, sounds from when we're talking. It's like, and it's more comfortable. Um, but I did have a few experiences. I'm not sure when you did the arrow, did you put me back in my body? Because I think we missed it.
Yeah, I didn't put you back. What took you to? How did you get to the beach? In my mind, you were in your body on the beach, but were you just a being?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I was just on the beach. It was fine. It was just a thought afterwards. Like, did she put me back in?
You're definitely back in your body now. So
Yes.
you came back to your body. I think maybe you came back to your body after the beach.
That might be, and I don't even think it's important. It was just the thoughts. Like, wait a second. Um, Something happened, with the hand where I had all the issues. At some point, it was kind of like a feeling of that it kind of evaporated.
Oh, that's good. See, that was one thing I was wondering is I couldn't actually see that hand. So I could see the hand
Yeah,
on your chest and I was watching your
yeah.
body language and I could, but I couldn't see the other hand. So I was sort of wondering what's it doing. And like when I said about the anchor and getting rid of it, and I was like, I don't actually know what the hand's doing. I'm just going to have to intuitively hope it's working. But I could feel
Just,
that it was working because I could
assume,
see
just
the rest.
assume that it's working. You know, that's what I do. If I end up in a situation like that where it's like I really would like to see that hand, I'll just assume it's fine.
I did a session a couple of weeks ago and the whole camera went so I couldn't see anything.
One of those. Oh,
Yeah, like
kind
that.
of.
And
Yeah.
it worked. She's still not smoking. It was a stop smoking session, but
Yeah.
it sort of, as I started doing the parts and the camera went and I was like, oh, she's definitely in a deep hypnosis. This is definitely working. Okay, just carry on going.
Yeah, yeah. No, but you can do parts negotiation over text. If you just want a confirmation, have them just put like one letter, just any letter for confirmation. I really need to go pee. Just hang on one
Okay,
second.
I'll stop the recording now too.